Hello, welcome to News English on radio and television station. Here comes the news today. The U.S. Department of Commerce announces the final conclusion of the investigation evading anti-dumping and countervailing measures against Vietnam's cold and corrosion-resistant steels which have import materials from South Korea and Taiwan, China. According to statistics, Vietnam currently ranks 12 in the top 20 steel export markets to the United States. In the first 10 months of 2019, the export value of these two steel items of Vietnam to the United States reached more than 260 million USD. These are also the two main export products to this country. Although accounting for less than 10% of Vietnam's total steel export turnover, if it is imposed tax, it will be difficult for Vietnamese enterprises to continue exporting to the U.S. market. According to the Department of Trade Defense, Ministry of Industry and Trade, the decision to impose taxes on this route shows that the U.S. view has strengthened. They only accept steel from Vietnam if the hot-rolled steel material originated from Vietnam. In the case of steel produced from South Korea, Taiwan, China will be considered tax avoidance. However, the difficulty is that up to now, Vietnamese enterprises still produce by importing large amounts of hot-rolled steel from abroad. In Hue City, Politburo member, secretary of the Paris Central Committee, head of the Central Commission for Public Affairs, Trương Thị Mai, visited and congratulated Christmas 2019 to the Archdiocese of Hue. On behalf of the party and state leaders, Mrs. Trương Thị Mai sent to the Archbishop, dignitaries, monks, and parishioners congratulations on the peaceful and happy Christmas. Mrs. Trương Thị Mai announced the highlights of the country's socio-economic development results in 2019, the work of preparing the Progressive Party Congress to the 30th National Party Congress of the party. Mrs. Trương Thị Mai highly appreciated the contributions of the Archbishop of Hue, dignitaries, Catholic fellows over the years, who have always accompanied the party, government, and people of Thừa Thiên Huế province in social and economic development process. For Thừa Thiên Huế province, the Politburo has issued a separate resolution to develop the province into a city directly under the central government on the basis of preserving and promoting unique cultural values. This is a big policy and orientation for Thừa Thiên Huế to continue developing in the future. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced the new government agenda, which affirmed his determination to quickly bring Britain out of the European Union, reaching future trade deals and changing Britain. On the agenda, Prime Minister Boris Johnson considered finishing Brexit as a top priority, reaffirming that he would take Britain to leave the EU on January 31st, 2020 as scheduled. Prime Minister Johnson said he would simultaneously conduct trade negotiations with other countries. In addition to promoting Brexit, Prime Minister Johnson pledged to increase funding to the National Health Agency, namely an additional £33.9 billion per year over the period 2023-2024. He is also committed to reforming education, increasing investment in infrastructure and technology, as well as reviewing security, defense, and foreign policy. Fighting climate change, increasing penalties for violent crimes, and caring for the elderly are also part of Prime Minister Johnson's new action plan. The 2020 federal spending bill was passed by the U.S. Senate just days after it was passed by the House of Representatives. The passage of the 1,400 billion USD federal budget bill is to prevent the U.S. government from closing next week. The 2020 federal spending bill will come into effect after being signed by U.S. President Donald Trump, allowing the U.S. government to use the 1,400 billion USD budget next year. The federal budget for the 2020 fiscal year is 50 billion USD higher than the previous year, ensuring that the U.S. government operates until September 30th, 2020, and avoiding being shut down when the backup budget expires later this week. The bill meets Republican requirements for defense spending, as well as budgets that are a Democratic priority. The Pentagon will be awarded 738 billion USD, 22 billion USD more than in 2019. The bill also boosts budget for programs such as child nutrition and scholarships, gun violence research for the first time in decades, and a housing budget that has been opposed by Trump. That's all for news English for today. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.